Welcome back to Satisfactory, and it's time for a little bit of therapy today. Therapy because I need to redesign this building. It was our oldest building that we did, and I did it with 2x3, and trust me, don't ever do buildings 2x3. Yes, it's 3x3 exterior, but I had like the sort of a stairway inside that outer 1x3 section. It wasn't, no. It's not enough. Down there you'll see our encased beams sort of setup going, and it is producing stuff. It's just not producing anywhere near fast enough. So I've already made a quick change to the outside just to reroute stuff, and we just need to redesign the inside. So you'll see that needs to be a lot more concrete coming out of here. So around back I've removed this 1x3 entirely, so you can now see the wonderful miner setup here. And this is again a miner mark 1, so we're going to want to replace that with a miner mark 2, aren't we? Can we afford a miner mark 2? And is this going to go back down where I expect it to? I'm going to need to go and grab a portable miner, otherwise I'm not going to... Can I actually just make one? Equipment workshop or something? Yeah, let's just see if I can... yeah, I can make 12. So I'm only going to need... Oh, let's me just make 2 anyway. I maybe get 1 back from the other miner. And the only problem here is probably going to be something like... Oh, no, hang on. This is feeding into this box is fine. Yeah. Yeah, but I want that to be feeding out a lot faster just because I'm going to improve the rest of the speed. So I'm going to take this conveyor away. And we take this miner away, and hopefully the miner mark 2 is going to go back down in the same spot. Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. Let's just see what else in here is there. Oh, bits and pieces. Yeah, let's get rid of that last piece there. That should give me the room to pick this up. Okay, so miner mark 2. Let's have you in the same position exactly without any fuss or bother. This game. Trying to get this to fit every single time is annoying. I'll do it off camera. Okay, I'm not happy with putting this foundation 1 lower, but hey, it works. So it might be nice if this thing could actually drill a hole through concrete. Well, you'd think so, considering it can drill a hole through, you know, solid rock. But hey, there is a new update due out. I think it's going to be in February sometime, and it's a really, really big update. So it's probably going to break most of our factory when it does, which I'm quite looking forward to just rejigging everything. I have built everything inside buildings fairly nicely, so unless the recipe's changed too much, we should be okay? Question mark? Yeah. So that's going to be entertaining. In any case, I'm just going to merge this back in. I've decided not to go for this box at all. And I'm just going to merge that in so that we can get rid of the contents of the box. Off that goes, and then that can go away. So this is all level 3 at the moment. We can step up to level 4 fairly soon, but this is producing obviously much faster than before. Outside, we've then got our external steps now. You could still contain it if you wanted. Oh. You could still contain it if you wanted to, or even put guardrails up so that kind of thing didn't happen. But yeah, you know me. Yeah, let's just get in here. And we had this crazy setup we had to do because this thing was 2x3. That's not going to cut it anymore. I'm sorry. We're going to be able to redo this, and what we're going to do is just replace these. Both of those are coming out. Okay, as is that. All this is going away. In fact, let's just go to that mass dismantle mode. Or not. Oh, I didn't want to dismantle that. Oh, yeah. Let's just dismantle all of it, I guess. And we can just put the floor back. Let's get that floor. There we go. And that's already a Mark III lift. We may just be able to put a wall back there without it complaining too much. Wall conveyor. Yep, that will go back in. And then just a regular wall for everywhere else. At some point we may want to convert across to the paintable walls, but this will do for this building. It's our first one after all. And now we've got a nice approach where we can just get rid of all of that, and we can just basically start again, sort of thematically in here, and let's just basically put a couple of constructors down. So this is a usual sort of approach for this kind of thing. I probably want to just space them out a little bit, but we can put them like there, and maybe there. Yeah. And does that give enough room on for splitters and mergers? It looks like it does. And of course that means we can make this stackable, which is of course the entire point of this thing. That's going to need to be that different kind of wall as well. So let's get our new walls. We've got the wall conveyor Mark 1 and wall conveyor Mark 1. And same thing over here, we've already got. So that's everything ready. And then we just need splitters and mergers. So logistics, splitters. It's coming in from this side, so I need to line it up. One there. One there. And then mergers on this side. There we go. Nothing extra. We should just need to hook these up to power and belts, etc. And this is basically just a lot nicer now. Let's get it going that way. Yep. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, this is built the wrong way around. You know, I'd like to be able to do this like Factorio, whereby you can just rotate objects once they're placed. But hey, that may be a bit of much of a good ask. But it helps if you actually build them the right way around in the first place. So that's going that way around. Okay. And same thing here. There we go. So now you should connect rather nicely. And then out to the exit. Interior. Or input, I should say. Okay, and then just some kind of power pole will do. We've already got one here, so that can go there, that can go there, and both of them should start up. Once I choose the recipe. I want concrete, or rather the precursor. Yeah, concrete, that's fine. I'm just missing... I literally just recorded a C-block episode. I'm missing being able to shift right click, shift left click to actually copy the recipe across. It's such a nice shortcut that it just needs to be done at some point. So this is going to produce concrete, and then we can basically make an extra... It's not going to do any more than we previously had, but it's now stackable, so we can add an extra floor. And of course, that can be added... Can be added at this level? Yeah, I think we can actually, because... everything is nicely set up here. There's nothing clipping through the ceiling, is there? Oh, there is. Slightly. Oh, well. Can I live with that? Yeah, I can live with that. That's literally a light. I'll think of that as some kind of indicator light for the next floor to tell it what the previous floor is doing. Yep, that's what it's going to be. It's nothing to do with just clipping. It's purely intentional and meant to go through the floor. And there goes our conveyor lift going downwards. So again, just listen very carefully. You may not be able to hear it on my, but just when you do this, particularly if it's a really long lift, just listen for the noise it makes when it connects. That's the best way to line this up. Maybe you didn't hear that because it's really quiet. It's a very, very tight tick sound when it actually connects. Then that should work fine, hopefully. It's connected at this side. Are you not connected down below? You look like you are. Maybe I've not got... yeah. Whoops. Connect. There it goes. So yeah, we're now producing pretty much double what we previously did. And I think I'm going to add a third stage even more. So just to briefly summarize up here, it's basically the same. It's just the inputs and outputs are sort of reverse direction because it needs to basically stack on top of each other. So everything is working as you would normally expect. And that's going to need this to be extended upwards into another floor. Well, that worked. So there's now 3 floors of concrete. And it's running down here quite nicely on level 3 belt. And that's running all the way over here, if you remember, into, well, a splitter, which goes off into a box where I can use it elsewhere. But also, it's going to be coming in here, and you can see it's basically being supplied by steel beams. And it's now this machine that's now the bottleneck. So we need to either have an extra assembler or consider this to be filled another way. So here we've got this producing. So, well, it's producing enough industrial beams to keep this running. But this is actually quite slow. How many? We got 42 of those. Well, how many have we got in our... sort of space elevator? We have 176. Yeah, so let's just put those in there. 176 of those. 218. Yes. We're going to need a lot more of each of those things, aren't we? In order to produce things a little bit faster, I've been adding some other bits and pieces to the factory as it's been producing. One, this building here, you probably didn't notice before. It's basically the same building I had before. I just rearranged it. Because I've shown stackable designs, this is the same as the others, so I'm not going to show me building it and taking all your time up doing that. So in here, we've just got two, well, basically two of the most basic things, two constructors, and they are producing copper wire. So that is what we had before, but now there's a second story on top, and that just means that we've got constantly backstuffed supply of copper wire, which is good because we've also got plastic over here. And let's see what it's like as far as the train system. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. We no problems there. So this is all producing more and more stuff over here, and you can see we are backstuffed with circuit boards. Lots and lots of circuit boards. So this is producing at full speed for it. We could just add another one and double the speed and stuff like that and see if we can actually get it in. What I really haven't done yet, and maybe it's time for you to let me know what you guys think, because in here, what I haven't shown yet is really balancing out manufacturers, or rather having multiple, because you will tend to need basic setups with splitters, mergers, etc. And this is actually just running out of cable. I need to make more. But yeah, having a nice setup with these either stacked upwards or stacked outwards, not sure. I may well cover that in a future episode, but if any of you've got any ideas of particular things you've seen before, more than happy to take a look. Why don't we just go and see what the problem with this cable is? Is it just because it's short of... well, there's the... there's one reason. No, it's producing at full speed. It's just I only have one. That's that's the only problem. That's not a problem. I will just add another one later because we've got plenty of copper ingots coming in. And wire obviously is perfectly fine too. So we'll just pick those up and let's go and see how many we've got in our space elevator. And the other change I made was the other side of the factory, which was to basically replace... Remember we had this single machine making enclosed beams? Well, now I have extended that... Well, basically moved it and put it into a building. That is one of the buildings underneath the rather sort of stone bridge that's across the top of the base. You see that over there? I've extended our foundation outwards and rearranged it over here. So let's just take a look. There's the pipes as before, but this whole wall is actually 3 or 4 blocks further out now. Our home base was there, the thing that's over here, the hub. So now we have another, well, we have 2 buildings here essentially. Let's just go and take a look. So here is where we previously had just the machine. The machine was here making encased industrial beams. Now it's in a building. And of course that will need to go up through this bridge, unfortunately, because just the position. And it is taking concrete in and it's taking steel beams in. Steel beams does need to be increased as well now because it's just not actually backstuffing yet. And that will probably need to be 2 or 3 stories, but again, it will need to go through that bridge first before we get another story in there. Anyway, in here, I added an extra machine. That extra machine basically doubles the supply, but of course, we will need to expand this even further. Otherwise, we are more than supplying enough concrete now for that to work, but you can see occasionally a steel beam will be holding things back. So, yeah, that all comes over here. And we get to this box where things are happening, sort of. Yeah, we are even using a 3 recipe rather than a 1 recipe, but we just need to leave it a little bit longer. Now, I could scale up, but by the time I had actually scaled up and get this stuff done, it more than likely would have got us to the point of having them all anyway. I've only got a couple of hundred left now, so I'm going to leave that alone, get it to actually produce that. And of course, if you're doing it in your sort of factory, you can think about scaling. Yeah, by all means, it's all up to you. Anyway, let's get forwards to hopefully when we get enough resources. And with a small amount more, well, one more computer, we have pretty much everything we need now. I did have to put in another floor there that's making cable for me. And I also expanded the copper line a little bit more. And that's basically keeping that single machine running pretty much full out. And even with one of those boosting power shard things, it's running 150% and it's still producing supercomputers for me, so that's fine. We should be able to just go ahead here and unlock the next tiers. which should be pretty quick. So let's just get the, what was it, the computers? There they go. 5. Oh, yeah, we can seal them. Off into a box and send. And off it goes. And it should shoot off into the sky pretty quickly. There he goes. Cool. Alright, so that should be the next tiers unlocked. There's our hub. Let's go and take a look where it says next tiers. Yep, there we go. So jetpack and gas mask were the sort of highest end so far. Jetpack, this was already unlocked, by the way. 5 and 6 were unlocked. Jetpack will get us 5 more inventory slots. We just need some more heavy modular frames, some motors, and some more computers. And of course, that, by comparison to what we've just done, happens to be a fairly small amount of each of those. Gas masks, again, same ingredients. And radar technology to unlock our map is mostly the same ingredients, apart from crystal oscillators, which we've got to get to, which we haven't really covered so far. At least only a little bit so far. Tier 7, however, well, Tier 7 has got a whole bunch of new stuff in it. Yup. Nuclear power, uranium cells, electromagnetic control rods, nuclear fuel rods, hazmat suits, better filters. Okay, interesting. And then we can look for uranium. Now, each of those, of course, requires a lot more of the same ingredients, and unfortunately, I'm running out of time today to be able to cover those. So this is going to be quite a short episode by comparison to others. It just takes a long time for my factory to build up. What I don't want to do is just do all of the same in the same episode, because at this point, it's just building up the same things. And if I just cover that, you know, during the episode, it seems a bit samey to me. So I'm trying to cut a lot of that out, which is why these episodes are a little bit further apart than others. However, we should have lots of new ones once I manage to unlock this stage. So again, it's just waiting for computers and waiting for heavy modular frames. Motors will just really build much quicker than the rest. The Bayer process, on the other hand, gets us into Conveyor Belt Mark V. What does it tell me what the ingredients are for that? It doesn't. I need to look that up. If anyone knows what the ingredients for these are, put it in the comments below for everyone else. And the Miner Mark III. Oh, that's nice. Radio control unit, which I have no idea what that does. And we can scan for quartz, and we get aluminium and alclad aluminium sheet along with turbo motors. So presumably some of these things, like the turbo motors in the batteries, will be used to make some of the larger structural stuff. We are going to want that scanner update because I know there is some uranium. It's a few hundred yards away. I just haven't been and found it yet, so I will show you where that point is once we get to there. However, in the meantime, do we actually want anything else? I would like the extra inventory space, but I think of those two, I would like to go and find the uranium. And this is also going to be dangerous. I'm going to need a hazmat suit, which is okay because we can actually we can craft it. Yes, consumes iodine-infused filters from your inventory when you're in radioactive areas. So yeah, I'm going to need both of those in order to make that work. And this is going to be consumable, so I need quite a few of them. So that's going to be selected as a milestone. It's going to appear at the top right here. And as you normally do that kind of thing, we can just shift-click in some of those. Do I have any motors? I think I shut the motors down, you know, because I didn't need a lot. Yeah, it's in standby. Let's just turn that back on again. And yeah, I've got like 18 motors. We'll just shove those in. And they should be good for now. So I will leave it there for this episode. Again, just a sort of progress episode more than else. Unlocking Tier 7. Tier 8 isn't available, but do be aware that that new really big update is coming out in February. And it may, well, put it this way. They've said your saves will load. They haven't said how much refactoring of your factory you're going to need to get the same stuff coming, or indeed what the recipes are. So having these nice buildings where I have one output for each building that is a specific thing means that, well, unless the actual ingredients for those buildings change, then I can just need to reroute the outputs. But we'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong, as normal, when we get to that point. So until next time, thanks a lot for watching Satisfactory. And I was going to say Factorio. Satisfactory. If you want to see a series on vanilla Factorio 0.18, 0.18 is out, or should be out imminently, if not. and that is pretty much the final version before 1.0. There's a bunch of changes going into that, and I don't want to. It's going to break all mods. It's going to have quite a lot of changes in it as far as how the mods are doing. So, as far as vanilla stuff is concerned, well, we'll see. But if you want to see a series on that, just let me know. And that's going to irritate me, the way that joins. Those two are connected like that. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.